All right. This is a quick video where we're going to look at graphing linear equations, SPI 3.8. So our initial quick review is to look at converting from standard form to slope-intercept form. So standard form, if you remember, is AX plus BY equals C. And A, B, and C are all numbers. They're all the numbers that go in the equation. Slope-intercept form, this is something we've been dealing with for a while. That's Y equals MX plus B. M is your slope, and B is the y-intercept. So first step we look at is how to convert an equation from standard form to slope-intercept form. So if you look at problem 1, the first thing that we need to do is find the y variable, which in this case is 5y. I'm going to circle the y variable with the sign in front of it. So that is a positive 5. Now this is just like inverse operations. That's like saying it's positive 5 times y. So I want to get rid of that 5. The way I do that is the opposite of multiplication. I divide by 5. But when I divide one thing by 5, I have to divide everything by 5 because mathematicians are always fair. It would be unfair to not divide everything else by 5. So now that we have that, I'm going to rewrite the equation up here. 8 over 5 cannot be reduced. So I change that, or I don't change that, excuse me. I'm going to rewrite that as 8x over 5. Now, what happens to these 5's here is they cancel out. And that leaves me with just a positive y equals 27 over 5 cannot be reduced. So it's 27 over 5. Now, the one step that I have left is I need to get this x variable. I need to get this x variable over to the other side of the equal sign, so y will be equal to everything else. So I have y equals, when I move this over, remember I need to, if something crosses the equal sign, its sign changes. So it's positive over here. That's going to be negative on this side. So negative 8x over 5. This 27 over 5 is positive and it doesn't move, so that stays positive. 27 over 5. And that corresponds to, I believe, answer choice C, which is the correct answer. So there you have it. That's how to do problem 1. I want to do one more example. Look at problem 2 very quickly. This is the same step. So the first thing we're going to do is find the y variable, which is right here. Circle it with the sign in front of it. That's a negative 3 in front of the y, not a 3. That is a negative 3. So I'm going to divide everything by negative 3. The difference here is that the term, the coefficient in front of the y variable is a negative number. So you need to make sure that you divide everything by negative 3. Do not forget the negative sign. So now when I go up here to this next step, I have 10x over negative 3. 10 over negative 3 cannot be reduced. So that's just 10 over negative 3. That's minus, or that negative 3 over negative 3, those cancel out. And negative 3 divided by negative 3 is positive 1, right? So I'm left with a positive y, not negative. That is a positive y. And negative 22 over negative 3, that cannot be reduced, but a negative over a negative is a positive. So that is a positive 22 over 3. And just like the last problem, the last step is to move our x variable over to the other side of the equal sign. So what we're left with is y equals this 10x over negative 3. When it moves, it switches. Here it's negative. Now it's going to be positive. So that's 10x over 3. And this 22 over 3 is positive, and it does not change because we're not moving it. So that's still positive 22 over 3. And it looks like the correct answer is B. Good. So a very quick review I want to do of how to check for how to reduce fractions. So if you need help on figuring out how to reduce fractions, pull up your calculator. Let's look at the example of 10 over negative 3 and see. So when you know you have 10 over negative 3, well, there it is for you. I'll show you how to do it. You have alpha y equals, and do 1, or enter. Type in the fraction. Do not type in the x, so you're just going to type 10, arrow down, -3, hit enter, and that will give you the most simplified form, the most reduced form of that fraction, which is -10/3. So we could have written the negative sign in front of the fraction or kept it where we did. Either way is fine. But that's how you check to see if a fraction can be reduced. All right, so y'all go ahead and finish problems 3 through 6, and when you're done with that, check out the next video.